Hi students, welcome to lesson 8. Today's lesson is all about adding graphics to a presentation. So the skills we're going to learn is how to insert and format images, applying shapes to slides, and ordering and grouping shapes. Alright, so it says that we're going to insert an image from the web, but first we need to open up our exhibits presentation out of our Infotech, PowerPoint, Lesson 8, Student Data Files, Lesson 8 folder, and here's exhibits. And we're going to enable editing, and we're going to save as, browse. I'm going to go back to PowerPoint, Lesson 8. I'm going to name it Exhibits Final. Okay, close out of that. Alrighty. It tells us to go to slide 4, and we're going to be adding some online pictures. Take note that clip art is illustrations or drawings composed of mathematically generated lines and shapes. Similar to lines and shapes used, users can create PowerPoints using PowerPoint's own drawing tools. Alright, so we're going to go to the Insert button, and we're going to click on Online Pictures. And in the Bing image search, we're going to type gears. Okay, and it says to press enter. The search icon should go and you should see a result. It says scroll down through the results and click a picture of gears that you think will look good in this presentation. Okay, so it looks like this might be the one that they used, so I'm going to click the checkbox and click insert. Okay, sometimes some of these pictures won't exactly work. So in that case, I'm going to go back to pictures here and go to my Z drive and just look to see if they don't happen to have in here the same picture. PowerPoint, student data files, lesson 8. No, they don't. So I'm going to do this a little backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google Chrome, and I'm going to search for gears, images. Under settings, or let's see, I'm going to go to tools and usage rights. I'm going to click on labeled for reuse. Okay, so I know that this one is an okay image to use right here. I'm going to save this image, and I'm actually going to put it in the public drive in case anyone else wants to use it. So I'll put it in our PowerPoint folder under lesson, let's see, let's go back to student data files, lesson 8. And I'm going to name it gear. Okay. So then I'm just going to go to slide 4. And instead of clicking online pictures, this time I'm going to click picture, and I'm just going to add that gear. Oh, where's the one that I saved? Oh, we gotta go to the public drive. Pancoke, PowerPoint, student data files, lesson 8. Gear, that's the one that I added. Ooh, but look, it doesn't really look very good because it's they're black gears, so we may need to recolor it. So I'm going to go to Format, Color, and I'm going to make them gray. Okay. All right. Next, it says to save the presentation. And it says to insert a picture from a file. So we're going to go to slide 3, and we're going to click the Pictures button right here. And we're going to navigate to our data files. So right now I'm in the public drive. I'm actually going to go back out and go to my Infotech folder, choose PowerPoint, Student Data Files, Lesson 8, and I'm going to choose the Astronomy picture, and we'll click Insert. Okay, and then we'll save. Okay, next it says we're going to change a picture. So it says to go to slide 4, and we're going to right click the picture, and we're going to click Change Picture. And it tells us to click the Browse hyperlink. And we're going to find this gears picture that should be in our data files, and we'll click Insert. The picture is replaced. Next it says to hit the Save button for Save Presentation. And our next task is about using the ruler, grid lines, and guides. So it says to go to in the View tab. I think that must be a typo. We're going to go to the View tab and make sure that the ruler button is already selected. The vertical, horizontal rulers should be showing up on your screen. And it says to click to mark the guides checkbox. The default vertical and horizontal drawing guides display intersecting at the center of a slide. The guides will be more useful for positioning pictures in this presentation, so you can turn off the grid lines. So we don't need grid lines, we're just going to turn those off. It says to go to slide 3, and that contains the bulleted list to activate it. Be sure to select the text box and not the text. You will use the text box border to help you position the guides. It says click the vertical guide. And that would be this one. As you hold down the mouse button, a screen tip appears showing that 0.0, indicating that it is at the 0-inch mark on the horizontal ruler. Click and drag the guide to the left until it aligns on the left border of the text placeholder. Okay, so that would be over here. 4.50 should show with the left pointing arrow. Release the mouse button and drop the guide at that location. It says to click the horizontal guide to the right of the planet picture. And drag upward until it reads 1.67, which is about right there. Okay, with an upward pointing arrow. Drop the guide. It should align with the top of the capital letters in the text placeholder. Click the vertical guide position near the left edge of the slide. Hold down the control and drag a copy of the guide to the right until the screen tip reads 4.5. And release the control key. Slide should look similar to figure 8-4. Okay, it says to go to slide 4 and click the gear picture. Drag it until the upper left corner of the picture snaps to the intersection of the vertical and horizontal guides. About right there. Go to slide 5 and drag the picture down and to the left to snap it inside the guides. Go to slide 6 and we're going to do the same thing. Drag the picture up and to the left to snap to the intersection of the two guides. On the View tab, we're going to clear the Guides checkbox to turn off the guides. It says to go to slide 7 and drag the picture up on the slide until you see a faint red dotted line. Okay, this smart guide indicates that the picture is at the same vertical position as the text box to its left. Release the mouse button and drop the picture in its new position. Alrighty. If you do not like the Smart Guides feature, you can turn it off. Right-click an empty area of the slide and point to Grid and Guides, and click Smart Guides. Repeat the same procedure to re-enable the feature. So I'm going to leave mine on because I like the Smart Guides. We're going to go ahead and save the presentation. And next we're going to be rotating and flipping an image. So it tells us to go to slide 3 and click the picture to select it. Don't know if it's supposed to be like, we'll put it there. Alright, and it says that we're going to click the Picture Tools Format tab, and we're going to click the Rotate Objects button. Okay, then tells us to click on Flip Horizontal in the drop-down menu that appears. The picture reverses its orientation so the planet is on the right and its moons are on the left. Drag the picture up and into the right corner of the slide so that the top and right edges of the picture align with the top and right edges of the slide. See figure 8-6. So we're actually going to move it up here to about this location. Okay. Notice though that my picture is now kind of taking over a little bit of my text. Alright, so I bet we'll have to change that later. We're going to go to slide 4 and we're going to click the picture to select it. It says to click the Picture Tools Format tab. We're going to click the Rotate button and we're going to rotate left 90 degrees. Okay, and then we're going to save the presentation. Okay, next we're going to be cropping a picture. So we're going to go to slide 6 and we're going to click the picture to select it. And in Picture Tools Format tab, we're going to click the Crop button in the size group, the upper portion. Okay, not the arrow below it. The pointer changes to a crop pointer and crop handles appear around the edges of the picture. Click the position in the position to position the pointer on the left side crop handle. That would be over here. And drag inward to crop the picture so that there is an approximately equal amount of white space to the left of the protractor and to the right. So you see how this is a little disproportionate? We're going to drag in until it's about the same, just about right there. Okay, it says release the button and then click the crop button again to complete the crop. On the View tab, it tells us to click the Guides checkbox. And we're going to click and drag the crop picture back up to the intersection of the two guides. on the View tab, clear the guides checkbox, and then it tells us to save the presentation. Alrighty, next we're going to resize an image. Generally, you will want to maintain the picture's aspect ratio when you resize it. The aspect ratio is the relationship of width to height. By default, a change to the width of a picture is also applied to the height to maintain aspect ratio. Alright, so we're going to go to slide 3, and we're going to select the picture to select it, and we're going to drag the lower left corner of the picture horizontally until the left edge of the picture aligns with the 0 mark. Okay, so we're going to make it a little bit bigger, just to where the left edge aligns with the 0 mark. It says, do not worry that the slide title is partially covered. You'll fix that problem later in this exercise. If you have difficulty getting the size right because Smart Guides pops up to snap the image into alignment with the other objects on the slide, turn off Smart Guides temporarily. It says to go to slide 4, and we're going to click the picture to select it. It says to right-click the picture, and we're going to click Size and Position. The Format Picture task pane opens. We're going to click the Lock Aspect Ratio checkbox to deselect this option. You can now specify the height and width independently. In the size area of this task pane, we're going to click Reset to remove previous modifications made to this picture from an earlier exercise. We're going to click the height up arrow until the height is 3.7 inches. Shoot, I'm going to rotate this to the left again 90 degrees. Okay. We're going to go ahead and try this again. Right click, we're going to choose Size and Position. So I think that what they want is for the width to be 3.7 and the height here to be 3 inches. Or maybe 3 inches and then 3.7, because it tells us to change. Okay, so change the height, use the down arrow to get to 3.7. That's kind of confusing. And the width arrow, we want to change it to 3 inches. You can type it in, or you can use the arrows to manipulate it. All right. Next, it tells us to click to expand the position heading in the task pane. Okay. Oh, that's down here. Position heading. All right, and it says to set the vertical position to 2.1. So you could type it in and hit enter. All right, and then it tells us to go to slide 5 and select the picture. We're going to click the Picture Tools Format tab, and we're going to click the width arrow to change the size to 4.2. Okay, it says to turn the guides back on. View guides. And we're going to drag the picture to align its upper right corner with the intersection of the two guides near the right edge. So about to right there. It says to turn off the guides, and then we're going to save our presentation. Next, we're going to be adding graphics. Or applying a style to an image. So it says use the exhibit final 2 version presentation that is open from the previous exercise. Whoops, hold on here. Ugh, we need to resave this. So I'm going to save as in my lesson 8 folder. I'm going to name it exhibits final 2 version. Final version 2. Okay, it says to go to slide 5, and we're going to click the picture to select it if necessary. On the Picture Tools Format tab, we're going to click the More button in the Picture Styles group, and we're going to choose the one that's called Soft Edge Oval, which I believe is this one right here. Your picture should look like the one in figure 8-9. Okay, save the presentation. Still using exhibits final version 2. It tells us to go to slide 6 to select the picture. This picture is a bit too bright. So on the Picture Tools Format tab, we're going to click Corrections. And a palette of corrections appears. Notice that there are 2 sections, Sharp and Soft up here, and Bright and Contrast. In the Bright and Contrast section, we're going to click the Brightness -20, Contrast 0, Normal. So I think it's this one. The correction button, we're going to click the correction button again. And in the Sharpen Soften, we're going to click Sharpen 25%. Okay, and then it says click the corrections button again. Then click Picture Correction Options. The Format Picture task pane opens. Whoop, let's go back to that. And we're going to drag the sharpness slider Where is the sharpness? Drag the sharpness slider to 30% and the contrast slider. Oh, whoops. Let's try this again. Picture Tools Format, Corrections, Picture Correction Options. Okay, here we are. We're going to drag this slider over to 30%. Okay, and the contrast slider we're going to drag to 5%. So, very carefully. Or you could just use the arrow and click 5%. Okay, we're going to save the presentation. Next, we're going to apply color adjustments. So on slide 5, we're going to click the picture to select it. And we're going to click the Picture Tools Format tab and then click Color. A palette of color choices appears. In the saturation section, we're going to click Saturation 200%. Okay. Click the color button again, and this time we're going to click More Variants. And then in the standard colors, we're going to choose light green. Alright, it says to click the color again to reopen the palette. Click Picture Color Options. And then in the Picture Colors section under the color tones, we're going to set the temperature to 7,000. Okay, you can type it into the box. And then it tells us to close the task pane, and then we're going to save our presentation. Okay, next we're going to add effects to our image. So we're going to go to slide 4, and we're going to click the Picture Tools Format tab after we click on the picture. Okay, and we're going to click Picture Effects. In the preset group, we're going to choose preset 2. A preset formatting is applied. Click the Picture Effects button again, this time point to Bevel, and we're going to choose Art Deco, which is this last one right here. It then says to click the Picture Effects button again, and we're going to point to Glow, and then it tells us to click Periwinkle 8 point glow, accent 5. An 8-point periwinkle glow is applied to the picture. Click away from the picture to deselect it so you can see it more clearly. The slide should look like figure 8-13. So I guess we do need to re-rotate that picture. Okay. Okay, there we go. It says to save the presentation. Next, it tells us to go to slide 7 and click the picture to select it. We're going to click the Picture Tools Format tab, and then we're going to choose Artistic Effects. And we're going to find the one that's called Paint Strokes, which is the second one in the second row. Okay. And then we're going to save our presentation. Next, we're going to remove an image background. So go to slide 3, and we're going to click the picture to select it. And this time we're going to choose Remove Background. The Removal of Background tab appears on the ribbon, and the picture turns purple except for one planet. The purple areas are the parts that will be removed. We're going to zoom in to 100%. Okay, and then it tells us to notice that the inside of the picture is a rectangle border with selection handles. Only the content within these rectangles are kept. Drag the corner selection handle of that rectangle so that the entire picture is inside that area. So I'm just going to drag those out. Okay, and then it tells us to click the mark areas to keep, and then click and drag to draw across one of the planets. Alright, if the entire planet does not turn back to its original color with a single click, continue clicking different parts of it until the entire planet appears in its original color. So I'm going to drag across that one. Oh, we gotta drag that. Drag this one, and I'm going to drag across that one. Oop, now this one doesn't want to show up. Okay. Repeat this step 6 until only the background is purple and the planets appear in their original colors. We're going to click the Keep Changes button. Okay, and the background should now be removed. It says to click away from the image to deselect it. and click the Fit Slide to Current Window in the status bar. Should be this button. Okay, you should see that, now you can see the whole area of space and astronomy. Tells us to save the presentation. Still on Exhibits Final 2, we're going to click the File tab and then make a note of the file size under the Properties heading. Right over here. Okay, then press Escape to return to the presentation. So it's 4.68 megabytes. Okay, click any picture in the presentation to select it, and then click the Picture Tools Format tab. And we're going to click the Compress Pictures in the Adjust group. Okay. And we're going to click the Email 96 PPI option, and then click the clear the apply only to this picture. You want to compress only the selected picture. You would leave this option checked. Okay, and then it tells us to click OK. And then we're going to save the presentation. PowerPoint applies the compressed settings to the selected, and we're going to repeat step 1 to recheck the presentation size. So now it went from 4.68 to 2.66, which is much smaller. Okay. We're going to... Alright, so next we're going to be drawing lines by adding shapes. We're going to click on Save As real fast, go to your lesson 8, and we're going to change this to version 3. Alright, tells us to go to slide 8, and you will create a map on this slide to show potential visitors how to get to the museum. So, as you work, you need to refer to figure 8-16. This picture right here. It tells us to click on the View tab, and we're going to turn on the Gridlines. Okay, then it says create the first street for the map as follows. Click on the Home tab, and then we're going to click on the Drawing Tools, Shapes, More arrow, and we're going to choose the Line option. The pointer takes the shape of a crosshair. Locate the intersection of vertical and horizontal guidelines below the letter N in John. Clicking the at the intersection and then dragging downward, create a vertical line 3 blocks long. So I'm going to start right there. I'm going to go down 3 blocks. Okay. And then we're going to add the street name as follows. So it says to click text box on the Insert tab and click anywhere on the slide and then type Matthew's Pike. Click the outer border of the text to select all the content, and we're going to change the size to 16. On the Drawing Tools Format tab, we're going to click the Rotate button, and we're going to choose Rotate Left 90 degrees. Move the rotated street name just to the left of the vertical line, about right there. Okay. Next, we're going to select the Line tool again. So you can go here and then click the Line tool if you'd like. We're going to hold down the Shift and then draw the diagonal line shown in figure 8/16. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to draw it about like that. Holding the shift key constrains the line to be exactly 45 degrees or exactly vertical or horizontal as you drag. It says to select the line tool again and draw the horizontal line in figure 8-16. Okay, so looks like it may start about right here, and it goes about to there. Okay. Add the street name for the diagonal street as follows. So we're gonna insert a text box again, this time typing Magnolia Parkway. Okay, change the font to 16, and the text box needs to be selected, and in the arrange group we're going to click rotate, more rotation options, and type -45 degrees in the rotation box. Move the rotated text box to the right of the diagonal line, about like that. Then on the View tab, we're going to click the Clear Gridlines checkbox, and we're going to save the presentation. Okay. Drawing and resizing shapes. So on the Home tab, we're going to click the Shapes button, and we're going to choose Rectangular Tool Shape. Okay, hold down the mouse button and drag to create the taller rectangle above the horizontal line. So kind of like that. Okay, with the shapes still selected, click the Drawing Tools Format tab. Note the measurements and size in the size group, and we're going to type in 1 inch by 0.9 inches. Okay, select the rectangle tool again to create the wider rectangle shown in figure 9 or 8/17. So something like this. Okay, and the shape should be 7.7 inches tall and 1.2 inches wide. Okay. Next, we're going to choose the oval button or oval shape, and we're going to hold down the shift key and draw the circle. Okay, when you hold down shift, it takes it from an oval to a circle. The circle should be 1 by 1. Okay. Next, we're going to click the rectangle tool again and create a rectangle 7.7 inches tall and 1 inch wide. Near the lower end of the diagonal street. Okay. And we're going to click the shapes rotation handle, and we're going to drag until it's about parallel with the street. Alright, so about right there. Next, we're going to click the freeform tool in the lines section in the shapes gallery. Okay, it's this one right here. And near the bottom of the slide, so you can easily see the line you are drawing, draw an irregular oval shape to represent the lake. Alright, the lake should be about 1.4 inches high and 1.5 inches wide. Okay, when using the freeform tool, if you return to the exact point at which you start drawing, PowerPoint will automatically close the fill shape with color. If the shape does not fill, double-click it to end and click undo and start again. Oh, so I have to start again. Okay. We're going to delete that. Insert shapes, freeform. There we go. I'm going to change the 0.4 by 1.5. Okay, there's my lake. And it tells us to save the presentation. Okay, adding text to shapes. While on slide 8, click the taller rectangle above the horizontal street and then type West Bank Center. Then we're going to click the wider one and we're going to type Baldwin Museum. Click the circle and type Miller Arena. Okay, and then we're going to click the lake shape and type Holmes Oh shoot, this is actually Magnolia Lake. Okay, and then this rotated rectangle shape, we're going to type Holmes College. Okay, it says to adjust the width of any shapes as needed so that the text fit in them. So this one we may need to make a little bit bigger. Drag over Baldwin Museum to select it. And then we're going to click the bold button. And then it tells us to save the presentation. Okay, on the drawing on slide 8, format Matthews Pike's line label as follows. Okay, it says to click on the drawing tools format tab, click the shapes outline. So I'm going to click on this line, shapes outline, and we're going to change it to gold accent 3. Then we're going to click the shapes outline again and choose weight, and we're going to select 6 point. Then it says click the outside border of the Matthews Pike text box. To select all of the content inside, and we're going to choose font color. Black. Background 1. Then shape fill. White text 1. And drag the text box so the left to the left slightly if needed so that it does not overlap the vertical line. Okay. Click the horizontal line and repeat steps 1A through 1C. Okay, we're going to change the weight to 6 point. Oops, actually it's not going to be gold. So we're going to change this to white, 1, darker, 35%. Says, do not worry if the street overlaps the Matthews Pike text box. You will learn to fix this in a later exercise. Then it tells us to click the diagonal Magnolia Park line and change the text as well. So this time we're going to change the color and the weight to 6 point. This we're also going to change it to white fill with a black text. Oh, I want this to be black text as well. Okay. Let's see. Format the other shapes as follows. Click the circle, the West Bank center, and it says hold down the shift and click each of the additional shapes. And we're going to click shape outline and choose no outline, and then click the more button in the shapes styles group, and we're going to choose intense effect, black dark 1. I think it's this one right here. Then it says click away from the shapes to deselect all of them, and then click on Baldwin Museum to select it, and on the Shapes Tools Format tab we're going to click Shape Fill, and we're going to choose Pink Accent 2, darker 25%, and then click Shape Effects, and we're going to choose Preset 1. It says apply a texture to Magnolia Lake by doing the following. Click the lake shape, and then on the Drawing Tools Format tab we're going to click Shape Fill, Texture, and we're going to choose the water droplets. Then it says click the text fill buttons arrow, and we're going to choose black background 1. Click away from Magnolia Lake to select it. I'm going to make my lake a little bit bigger so you can see all the words, even though it's not supposed to be that big. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to save our presentation. Next, we're going to create a custom shape. So we're going to go to slide 1, and on the Insert tab, we're going to click the Shapes button, and we're going to choose the 8-point star. Should be right here. Okay, and then we're going to hold down the Shift key and drag on the slide above the text. Oh, whoops. Okay. Let's see. On the Insert tab, we're going to click the Shapes button again, and we're going to click the crescent moon, which is right here. Okay, and it says drag to draw it over the 8-point star. Okay. I'm going to move it just a slight bit. There we go. Okay, click the 8-point star and hold the Shift key, and then click the crescent moon shape. On the Drawing Tools Format tab, we're going to click the Merge Shapes button, and we're going to click Combine. The two shapes are combined such that the area where they overlapped is removed. We're going to select the shape, and on the Drawing Tools Format tab, we're going to click Shape Fill, and we're going to click Light Blue, Text to darker 90%. Click the Shape Outline button, and we're going to choose No Outline, and then we're going to save our presentation. Next, we're going to be ordering and grouping shapes. So it says on the Home tab, it says first go to slide 1 and draw a new rectangle that covers the logo. Okay, rectangle that covers the logo. Hold down the Shift key to constrain the rectangle to make sure it's square. On the Drawing Tools Format tab, we're going to adjust the height and width of the rectangle so its height and width are equal and just large enough to cover the logo. I'd say mine's pretty good the way it is. We're going to click the Shape Fill button and choose Gold Accent 3. And then we're going to click the Shape Effects button, and we're going to choose Bevel, Circle. Okay. On the Drawing Tools Format tab, it says to click the Send Backwards button, and there we have that. Select the rectangle and the star moon shape, and then align them with the left edges of the text. Okay, so I want, which mine is pretty much aligned there. On slide 8, it says on the Home tab, click the Arrange button, and we're going to choose Selection Pane. The Selection Task pane opens, showing the current slide contents in order in which it was created from bottom to top. This order is determined by the order in which objects were added to the slide. Okay, it says to click the Matthews Pike Street line. Oops, that would be this one. In the map to see how it is identified in the selection pane. It will have a name such as Straight Connector 4 or some other number. Click the horizontal street line to see its name. Straight Connector 9 is its name on this. Okay, it says then click the horizontal street to see its name. Oh, we did that. Next, click the Matthews Pike Street line again to select it. And we're going to click the bring forward arrow. Alright, so I'm going to click the bring forward arrow and click until the text box is at the top of the horizontal gray line. Oh, okay, so we gotta click this arrow. Click it until it is at the top. Okay, next we're going to click the Matthews Pike text box, and we're going to click the bring forward arrow until the text is on top of the horizontal gray line. Okay, you have one more shape to add to the map, an arrow that labels the horizontal street as John Street and indicates that the street is a one-way. Click the Shapes arrow, and I'm going to close out of this Format Shapes dialog box. Click the Shapes arrow, and then we're going to choose Right arrow, which is right here. And in the block arrows group, and then we're going to draw a block arrow that should be about, and I'm going to change it to 0.7 inches high by 5 inches wide. Okay. And on the arrow, we're going to key John Street 1. Alright, so then on the Home tab, we're going to click click Align Left to make the text align on the left side of the arrow. Using the Shapes Fill button, we're going to choose Green Accent 1 Darker 50%. Right-click the blank area of the block arrow and to the right of one way, for example, and we're going to point to send backwards and send to back. The arrow moves behind all lines and shapes. Click the bring forward button on the Format tab until the arrow is in the front of the diagonal line representing Magnolia Parkway. Okay, but the behind Magnolia Lake shape, similar to this. Okay, and then it tells us to save our presentation. Okay, on slide 8, we're going to click the West Bank shape. Holding down the Shift key, we're going to click the Baldwin Museum shape. And these landmarks are different distances from the John Street horizontal, but can be aligned for a neater appearance. Click the Drawing Tools Format tab, and we're going to click the Align button, or Align Objects, and we're going to align bottom. The shapes are now aligned at the bottom, so they are the same distance from the horizontal line. Save our presentation. Okay, still using the same one. While still on slide 8, we're going to click above and to the left of the map, but below the line of text. and hold down the left mouse button and drag to the right until all the shapes are included in the entire map. I'm going to try that again, make sure I get them all. Okay. This action is called lassoing the shapes. Release the mouse button. All shapes within the selection lasso are selected. Click the Drawing Tools Format tab, and we're going to click the Group Objects button, and we're going to choose Group. All objects are surrounded by a single selection border, which makes it all one shape. Alright, it is easy to miss an object when selecting parts of a complex drawing to create a group. To check that you have all objects selected, move the group. You will see easily if one or more objects do not move with the group. There we have it. Click any other objects that need to be belonging, and then you can regroup it. Alright, so we're going to save this, and tells us to close the file, and we can exit PowerPoint. You are done.